How is everybody doing today? I just want to congratulate all the people that just walked the stage right here, got promoted. Isn't it exciting to celebrate people's potential? I mean, we celebrate people's potential with this. Let's give it back to all the people that just walked up to the stage today. I'm excited to be here today. Some of you guys do know my story. Mr. Patrick Mays already kind of shared it. I was his teller. You guys got that clue, right? So I used to work at a bank. It's actually my 7-year anniversary in 3 days with ACN coming up. So September 14th, which is about 3 days, is going to be my 7-year anniversary. I'm right here. I worked 25 minutes away at the bank where everything changed, if that makes sense. Right? My whole life changed. Mr. Patrick Mays and Mike Mays were my customers at the bank. I had inside access, as you guys heard. I saw what they made. I was like, what do you do? I'm like, you're here at 10, 3, 1 p.m. Like, I'm like, you're in the sweatpants and a hat. Like, do you guys work? Like, you're stockbrokers? What do you guys do? Like, you work from home? Like, what do you guys do? And it's funny how it happens. He asked me a simple question: Horace, do you look at all the ways to make money? Got started. It's been an incredible journey. So my topic today is actually to talk about, I believe, one of the most important things, I think, while we're here, is to teach you guys pretty much the art of presenting. How many of you guys can agree presentation in ACN is very, very important? Right? So this is the basic, the fundamental, the opportunity here today. So once you master this will become second nature to you. It's like playing a sport. I'm going to go back to that analogy all the time because could you agree, day one of playing a sport, you're not really good at it. Right? Now guess what? It takes practice. And guess what you got to keep doing? And guess what you got to keep doing? Practicing, right? And then eventually you become great at it, right? So the beautiful thing here is you're playing for the pros, and all you got to do is keep practicing. But here's the secret. If Michael Jordan taught you all his basketball moves and you could copy them to the T, how many guys would agree you guys would copy them? Yeah. Yes, no. Yeah. How many guys would become great at that? Yeah. See, that's what the event does here today. We have all the top leaders literally teaching you how to become great, and all you got to do is rob and duplicate. In school, that's called plagiarism. Here, it's called what? Well, it's called success. As long as you can rob and duplicate, you'll have success. So the first thing I want to go through, where we go? Slides? Maybe? No? There we go. No, I went too far. One more back. Let's talk about Zoom presentations. I'm not really good at these, obviously. It's my first time here. It's too big. You can't see the whole slide. But anyways, let's talk about Zoom presentations. How many of you guys saw this opportunity on Zoom? Yep. Yes? How many of you guys, this is your first live event? Awesome. Welcome out. Well, see, we used to do this every single Saturday. Imagine coming to this every single Saturday, driving an hour, 2 hours, spending time here, and then going back home doing Zooms. Doing PBRs. We used to call it Zoom. We used to be in living rooms. Can you believe that? Does that sound like ancient ago? Right? We used to be in living rooms. Right now it's Zooms. I mean, like, I'd rather be in front of a computer right now than be on this stage. Does that make sense? Like, it's so much easier to speak to a computer. How many of you guys can agree to that? Right? So Zoom has literally unlocked pretty much everything for us. Zoom has literally, you can do as many meetings as you want based on Zoom calls, yes or no. And all you gotta do is just keep doing Zooms, showing the opportunity, and you'll actually become successful, right? You can condense time frames. Right? You can literally condense time frames, and you can do it in the comfort of your home. Sometimes I literally get out of bed, I'm still in shorts, put a polo on, and jump on a computer. Not bad, right? To do Zoom. How many of you guys do that? Honestly, come on. There you go. Right? Now, at the end of the day, could you agree, Zooms has made life a lot easier. Right? So take advantage of Zoom because you have no limit, endless possibilities. Right? Now, the attitude of success, guys, create your why. See, the people that got promoted here today, they have a big reason why they're playing. Does that make sense? Like, people are playing for a bigger reason. I know you guys saw Monica's promotion here today. She's playing for her kids because that's a pretty big reason. Right? See, when I first started ACN, I was playing to retire my parents. Now, how many of you guys could agree that's a pretty big reason versus money? Right? So, the bigger your why, the harder your try. So make sure your why is bigger than your excuses. Because your excuses are excuses, and your why will get you to where you want to go. Does that make sense? So, make sure your why is pretty big. Now, here's the best thing. I know you guys are scared. How many of you guys are scared to present? Show of hands, come on. All right, really, how many of you guys are really scared to present? I was scared to present. Now let me tell you something. The newest presenters are the best presenters. Now some of you guys are going to disagree with me. How many of you guys disagree? See, us veterans, we know too much. And they're just saying, the more you know, the slower you go. So, the new presenters, how many of you guys can agree? I remember doing my first presentation, I was done in less than 6 minutes. Because I was terrified of public speaking. Does that make sense? Like this now, it's best presenters are the newest presenters because you're literally going to read the slides. You're really just going to read exactly what it says, and it's going to make complete sense, right? At the end of the day, income-producing activities, all you got to do is just present and acquire customers. 2 things in ACN that makes you money: presenting and acquiring customers. Is that a pretty simple business model? Only 2 things that makes you money, right? Now, let's talk, and all you got to do is just do it, right? Now, real quick, attitudes for success. I talked about an earlier story named Michael Jordan. How you guys all know that name, right? Let's talk about some failures. Would you agree? His high school coach said he wasn't good enough and did not make the basketball team in high school. Now imagine if Michael Jordan listened to his high school coach. What do we know him today? Let's take it one step further. Disney. He got fired from a newspaper because he lacked imagination. How you gonna tell that to Walt Disney? Let's talk about Lamborghini. Ferrari Enzo said, you're not really good at making cars, keep making tractors. We know Lamborghini today, right? Don't let other people's opinions take you away from success. Guys, all you gotta do is you're gonna keep practicing. That's all you're gonna do. All you do is practicing. You're gonna miss shots, aren't you not? You're not gonna miss shots. It's okay, but guess what? You're practicing, you're getting better. Guess what? It took me a long time to get better because I wasn't uncoachable until one day I finally listened and I recorded a presenter. It was very, very simple, which I'll talk about here in a second. But here's the 3 stages of the meeting, guys. The first stage of the meeting is before the meeting. Get to know your guest, right? Tell the person that's having the Zoom, tell them to edify their guest. Now, whenever I jump on the Zoom call, the first thing I do is, hey, would you mind just introducing me to a handful of people? Get introduced me to all the people and edify them. The second thing is, during the meeting is the presentation. It should take you no longer than 12 minutes. That includes testimonials. Some people talk too much. And the more you talk, the more questions they ask. The more questions they ask, the least likely they're going to do it. Because we have a system. You go to a presentation, come to a training. Go to a presentation, come to a training. Go to a presentation, come to a training. Is it McDonald's? What do? Come to a presentation, give us $500,000, then we'll train you. Here's a little different, yes or no? Go to a presentation, we'll give you an overview, like what you see, get partnered up, come to a training, we'll give you more information. After the meetings, breakout rooms, guys. If you guys don't know what a breakout room is, make sure you guys get to know what that is. And your testimonies, your cold closers, guys, keep it short, simple, and duplicatable. I'm going to say the word simple so many times because the simpler you keep it, the better it is. Simple is key. Does that make sense? Like, simple is key. Now, before presenting, you always got to put yourself in a new person's shoes. How many of you guys remember taking a look at ACM for the first time? Show of hands. Now, what were you thinking? Was one of the questions in your head, what am I going to go take a look at? Like, could you agree, all the guests that are coming to a Zoom call, what are they thinking? What am I about to take a look at? What is it? Right, now, if your presentation is short, simple, to the point, could you agree that goes over what is it? Yes or no? The second thing is, does it work? How many guys are like, well, does this work? It's not usually another question. Now, the testimonials will take care of that. Like, if there's a person that's doing a testimonial that's going to share their story of how they've been in the business, could you agree? It tells people that it works on the Zoom call. And last but not least, the most important question is, can I do it? Now, if you create a complicated presentation, what do you think the person's going to say? I don't think I can do it. That's too smart for me. Now, I want to ask a simple question, guys. What do you think the human population, is talking about the overall human population, right? What do you think, this is going to be interactive, just once you scream out a number, okay? What do you think the human population is above average intelligence? What percentage?
5.
5. 3. 10. We got no for humans, nobody. 5. 3. We got 2 over there. I see somebody putting up a 1 over there. Wow. 5. We got 10. Let's just say 10% of the people is above intelligence. What does that make the rest 90%? Average intelligence or below, right? Now, if you make your presentation so sophisticated, so complicated, you use big words like sophisticated, right? Big word for me, I'll tell you that right now. All right, use crazy big words. What do you think the new person's going to think? Who are you talking to? The 10 or the 90?
90.
So if you have 10 people on a Zoom, how many people are going to partner up? One. Now, if you keep it so simple where they're like, this is easy, I can do it. How many people are going to partner up? You guys say 90. I think it's going to be 100%. You know why? Because the 10% is going to be like, that's so simple. If this guy can do it, I'm about to get rich. Yes or no? So you're going to get all 100%. So guys, simplicity is key. Guys, just keep it super simple. See, my presentations are super simple. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's super simple. I'm on a Zoom with you and I'm off the Zoom because there's nothing more to talk about. It's a presentation, yes or no? It means it's very, very simple. It's a simple business opportunity, right? So, how to have an effective meeting? Very, very simple, guys. Presentation, 12 minutes long. Take 1 minute to introduce yourself. Very, very simple in the Zoom, right? Take 2 minutes to play the ACN video. You guys know the ACN video. Take 2 minutes to do that. Go through the slides 1 through 10. Should take you no more than 8 minutes. I'm going to actually do a presentation for you guys so you can actually record it here in a bit. Testimonials, 30 seconds each. Don't talk too much. Sometimes testimonials kind of ruin it for the people, right? So testimonials no more than 2 minutes if you have 4 people. Breakout rooms to close business. That's where you spend most of your time because that's where you're getting customers and you're getting new business partners. Does that make sense? So I'm going to do a presentation for you. Now I'm going to tell you a secret. I copied this presentation from Senior Vice President, Mr. Mike Mason. Remember I told you it took me a long time to be coachable? And the more I knew, I had more stuff. And I remember one day, Mike was at a meeting with me and my presentation was like 26 minutes long. Mike told me inside of the meeting, he's like, who are you trying to impress, the crowd or yourself? And he's like, do me a favor, now record me, and I want you to copy. And I remember listening to him, and I just literally copied him verbatim. Does that make sense? And because I copied him verbatim, like I can do Mike Mason better than Mike Mason can. Does that make sense? Like if me and Mike Mason went out, you would not know the difference in presentation. Why? Because I just copied him. What I say, all you gotta do here is do what? Rob and duplicate. And you become successful. Michael Jordan taught you every single one of his moves to become the GOAT. Would you agree? You'd be the GOAT. You'd copy him because he gave those moves. Tom Brady. I know we're Giants. I know we're people here. Tom Brady, you gotta admit it, all right? I'm a Peyton Manning fan, but I gotta admit it. It is what it is. Anyways, if he taught you how to become a successful football player, would you agree you'd be successful if you just copied him? So same concept that he said, just get good at copying. Just get good at copying. That's all you gotta do is just get good at copying. That's it. So I'm gonna do a presentation. I'm gonna record it. You can record it. Feel free. It's very, very simple. So let's say the presentation starts. I introduce myself. I already did that, and I played the 2-minute video. Right when the 2-minute video is done, here's what I do, guys. I do a video, do a phenomenal job going over the business overview. When I took a look at that video, here's what I saw. I saw service that me and every single person I use, meaning everybody has a cell phone in their pocket. Yes or no? Everybody has a television in their house, cell phone in their pocket, meaning I don't have to convince any of you of using this stuff. The second thing I like was a chance to own my own business, no overhead, no liability, no fixed cost. And the third thing I liked about it was the income potential was limitless. So I can make as much money as I want. Now, before you partner up with a company, could you agree you want to evaluate the company? So let's evaluate the company together. If you take a look at the opportunity, been around since 1993, so about 29 years old, $800 million company, privately held, debt-free, million satisfied customers around the world. But if you take a look, it's a better business with an A+ rating. So been around for 28 years, about to be 29, $800 million company, privately held, debt-free, and a better business bureau with an A+ rating. Could you agree the company's doing something right? Yeah. Yes? Now, what is that exactly that we do? We market service that everybody uses. We market essential services and business services. We do cell phone services through companies like Flash Mobile and AT&T. We do high-speed internet bundled with television through the biggest companies that we know, DirecTV, Dish, Spectrum, Frontier. We do all these different companies. We also do electricity and gas through a company called Zoom Energy. Right? We do home security, bit security through a company called Vivint, credit card processing, and then last but not least, ID theft protection through a company called ID Seal. We literally market all these different services under one umbrella, right? At the end of the day, help customers save a few bucks on their bills, and every month they pay that bill, we'll get a piece, which I'll show you in a bit. Now, I know the question you're about to ask me, how do you save customers money? It's actually very simple. It's our business model. See, most service providers spend a lot of money on media advertising and internet marketing to attract customers. What we do is we partner up with like you. So ACN partners with people like you to talk to customers. So could you agree we have no overhead? No advertising costs, no marketing costs. So we take all that money that you spend in advertising and marketing, give it back to the customer as savings. Customer saves a few bucks every single month. Every month they pay that bill, ACN gets a piece, they divvy a piece to you and I. Pretty simple. Now, how do you partner up with us? Pretty simple. It's $199 one time, $25 a month. Now, when I saw that, I got excited. Why? I was 22 years old. It was $200 to sign on. Does this make sense? I'm in, right? So now the question you ask me is, what does this give me? Well, it gives me a personalized online website, and ACN does everything that you and I don't want to do. So think about this for a second. Personalized website, so it has your name on it, your email address, your phone number, a picture of you, so it's customized to you, and ACN does everything that you and I don't want to do. They build the customer, take care of the customer, all the overhead, the liability, the fixed costs, they take care of everything. All you and I have to do is one of two things. Show people how they can make money, show people how they can save money. Pretty simple. Now, if we're doing that, we get paid. We get paid 4 different ways. Let's talk about the first way we make money. We get upfront bonuses for acquiring customers. So if you take a look at the screen, we get for every, when you acquire 3 services, you get $75. Now, 3 services, there's 3 bills. It could be one person referring electric, Vivid, TV, or it could be 3 people referring one bill. Does that make sense? So once you refer 3 services, you get $75, 5 services, $200, 8 services, $400, 11 services, $600. For every 3 services you get on that point, you get $200 unlimited. How many guys like that? Now, so the first thing I did was become my own customer. I helped myself become a customer, helped my mom, my dad, my friends become a customer, and in my first couple of weeks of business, got 8 services, made, well, guess what? $400. Not bad, right? Now, here's where I got more excited, is residual income. Now, I didn't know what residual was 7 years ago. I gotta start saying 7. 7 years ago, right? Guess what I knew? I went to work 40 hours at the bank, I got paid 40 hours, if I didn't go to work, I didn't make any money, yes? Right, so guess what? Now, here was residual, doing the work once and getting paid over and over on the work you did once. So, like, I became my own customer for electric, gas, TV, internet, made my mom, my dad, a couple friends, a couple of coworkers my customer. I referred a handful of customers 7 years ago. They've paid that bill month after month, year after year for the last 7 years, and I've gotten paid 20% of all those bills for the work I did 7 years ago. I still get paid today. Pretty awesome, isn't it? Now, the third way to make money is actually override bonuses, if you take a look. So you could build a team. Now, I don't know what that was 7 years ago. I came to a training just like this. Now, we have trainings, which we'll show you. We went to a training, and they taught me this part. They said, Harsh, do you know any business owners? I'm like, I know some business owners. How about some people influencing the community? How about some people that are just go-getters or people in the real estate space? I'm like, yeah, I know a bunch of people in that space. They say, great, can you ask them a simple question? Do you look at other ways to make money? Yeah, I can do that. Great, call them up, put them on a Zoom call, and I'll present for you. Okay, at a meeting 7 years ago, I put a bunch of people in a meeting. Guess what? I had 29 people there. 7 people said, Harsh, I want to do what you're doing because the presenter spoke for me, which was actually the Senior Vice President, Mr. Patrick Mazur, did the meeting for me. And guess what? 7 people got started that night. Those 7 people went to a training. ACN trained them. They had meetings. ACN did all the work. And guess what? That's now referred tens of thousands of customers to the table where my team and I make a 4% commission on those customers. Pretty awesome, right? Now, the fourth way you get paid is actually override bonuses. Very simple. So depending on what position you're in the company, when you start off at the customer qualified level, which is CQ, once you refer a handful of services, you get 3 services, that's $50. All you get for executive team, every single person that comes to your team, whether you introduce them or somebody else your team introduces, you get $50. Regional director is $200, regional vice president is $300. So pretty much for every single person that comes to your team, whether you introduce them or somebody else's team introduces them, you start making bonuses from people acquiring customers. Was that a simple presentation? How many of you guys at that point would be like, that was so simple, I can do this? How long was it?
5:30.
How long do you usually guys spend some of you guys on the call? 5 minutes long, guys. It's so simple. At this point, I would introduce some testimonials, and I'm done. Meaning, open up some breakout rooms at the end of the day, and I go to this part, the most important part, which is the enrollment process. Right? Here's where I open up breakout rooms. See, guys, your testimonials are your closers. Every time I do a presentation, I make sure I have testimonials on the call, and those testimonials are my closers because here's what. At the end of the presentation, here's what I say. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to break out the room. We're going to get your questions answered. We're going to show you how to get started. I'm already closing business. Does that make sense? That's how I close it. I'm going to break out the room, and we're going to show people how to get started. Guess what I'm telling them to do? Get started. Because guess what they're going to do then? Get started. If they're going to do exactly what you tell them. So guess what? That's pretty simple. So guess what? Your testimony closers, help answer some questions, enroll a guest into the opportunity, and ask the questions. Are you ready to get started? Everybody say it. Are you ready to get started?
Are you ready to get started?
One more time.
Are you ready to get started?
One more time.
Are you ready to get started?
Is that a simple question to ask? Guys, ask that on a Zoom call, because if you ask for business, you will close business. Simple, isn't it? So guys, if you ask for business, you will close business. So get really good at that. And guys, now it's time for you to present. I don't care if you partnered up yesterday. I don't care if you partnered up 2 days ago. Let me tell you my first presentation. And here's what they did to me. Now some of you guys will laugh, but I'll tell you this, it wasn't funny to me because 7 years ago, I couldn't speak in front of 2 people. I'd rather burn and drown simultaneously than be up here, if that makes sense. All right? So about 7 years ago, I had a meeting. It was a meeting, in-person meeting, of course. It wasn't on a laptop, which is now easy. Could you agree today, it's a lot different than before for the people that have been around? How easy is it to talk to a laptop or a computer? Like, do you even feel there's 10 people looking at you? What do you really feel like looking at you? Like a computer, right? Now, 7 years ago, we used to live through living rooms, and I remember I had one big meeting, and I kept using mic and pad, and here's what happened. One day, I remember my Senior Vice President Mike Mazer called me up. He goes, hey, I want you to come over real quick. I said, okay, great, I'll go over. He's like, here's a bag, had a bunch of clipboards, presentations, magazines, and a DVD. I know I'm going old school, it's DVD, I know. But he's like, congratulations, you got promoted to executive team leader. This bag is yours. Every time we go and do a meeting together, you bring this with you. Okay, that's easy. Once I remember doing a presentation, honestly, he goes, you ready? I'm like, yeah, we got a great meeting. It was a great meeting in Burnsville, New Jersey, which is right around here. And he goes, you got everything? I'm like, I got everything. He prepared me for the meeting. I had about 20 people come to that meeting, right? And I coached them, we did everything we were supposed to do. He calls me up, he goes, you there? And I'm just pulled up, and I'm like, yeah, I'm here. He's like, where are you at? I'm like, I'll be right there, okay? He's like, mingle with the crowd and see what's going on. Right, started mingling with the crowd. I'm looking at the time, like it's 10 minutes after 6:30, like where is he? So I call him up, pull him aside, he's like, hey, start playing the video, put the DVD in, play the video, I'll be right there. Okay. I did it, right? Video's about to finish. True story. Video's about to finish, right? I'm calling him, I'm freaking out at this point. It's crazy. It's about a bunch of people in that room, right? It was crazy, right? I'm calling him. Mike, where you at? Hey man, I can't make it, you're up. Do you know how angry I was? And I got red. And I'm like, oh no. I should have known. And guess what? I had to do the presentation. I was probably done with that presentation in probably about 4 minutes, 3 minutes. I just zipped through it like you wouldn't believe. And the funny thing is, at the end of the meeting, people parted up. I remember I got 3 business partners that day. I called them up. Before I presented, I wanted to call them and yell at them, or worse, right? But at the end of the meeting, I called them up and said, you had 3 people signed up. This is unbelievable. It was good. Now you can present. Great. Now imagine we did that to you today. We don't do that to you today, don't we? We present for you, right? So it's pretty easy, right? So guys, it's time for you to present. Take advantage of this opportunity. Schedule your Zoom meetings, guys. Before you leave here today, the next 40 hours, schedule your Zoom meetings. The more you do, it's the more you practice, the better you get. And how do you like the fact that the more you practice, the better you get, the faster you become a regional vice president and senior vice president? See, the difference between you guys and senior vice president, Mr. Pat Mazer, is he's done probably tens of thousands more presentations than you have. He's just practiced longer. Does that make sense? Now, you have the ability to condense time frames. You can do what he did in 20 years in 5. Why? Because he could only do 2 presentations a day, a 6:30 and 8:30, because you have to drive. Today, how many of you agree you could do 10 presentations and you only work 4 hours with Zoom? So guys, schedule your Zoom calls. You can do exactly what he's doing in a more condensed time frame because of the technology we have today. And the pandemic's helped us because everybody knows what Zoom technology is. So schedule your Zooms, have fun. And with that being said, I hope I served you guys well. I'm going to get myself out of the way, introduce you to somebody that I have a lot more respect for. This particular company, because they came to this business, they were regional vice presidents, record break time. Now right now they're Circle of Champions members. Last month they finished as the #1 regional vice presidents for team trainer production. I mean, they just broke 2, you saw 2 RD promotions up here that was there, so they're having some tremendous growth. And they're going to go over some things that's making them so successful. And the first person I'll introduce is regional vice president, Circle of Champions member, Miss Melissa Street.